As a kid, you might have dreamed of becoming an astronaut and getting to join a limited group of adventurers privileged enough to experience life in space. Before you get there, you already know that there are many hurdles to jump over. You need to be the best in many things and have such skills as rocket piloting, walking in space, repairing damaged hardware, and monitoring the various machinery on board the spaceship. And yet, these represent only a fraction of what an astronaut needs to do. Since you're so far away from any help, you need to be able to handle almost everything. As such, you need to learn simple surgery and dentistry, computer programming, and more. After all, if you get into trouble, it's up to you and your fellow astronauts to save yourselves. That means that you will need months of training for every day you spend in space. Even if you're not alone on a space mission, you have to rely on yourself for nearly everything. If something goes wrong, you can't dial emergency services. As such, there are many possible scenarios that you have to prepare for, from fires and explosions to engine trouble and computer malfunctions. Astronauts are trained to handle such eventualities, honing their capabilities of keeping calm and making decisions under stress. They need to solve problems quickly and efficiently to minimize risks. Every day, astronauts undergo such training and simulations to start making preparations before a problem presents itself. Thus, beyond training to be physically fit enough for the expedition, you also need to sharpen your mind to become an astronaut. People tend not to like you if you're the kind of person who points out flaws. However, this trait is highly prized at NASA. This is because criticisms can help to keep astronauts on space missions safe. When faults are found and dealt with on Earth, there is a smaller chance of a mishap in space. As such, astronauts need to be mentally strong and capable of handling constant criticism because, in effect, they are pieces of life-saving advice. Of course, even when you're an astronaut, the way you phrase criticism is of the utmost importance. The point is never to deride or hurt but to improve and be constructive. When you're in trouble in space, you don't want to rely on someone with a grudge to save your butt. Becoming an astronaut involves a lot of hard work, even while you're on Earth. When you have to commit so many hours to train, you are forced to spend time away from your loved ones. Things will only get worse once you're in space. One way to handle this is by planning your commitments to your friends and family in advance. You can do many unique things to make your loved ones feel appreciated. Making sure that you can do celebrations and holidays in advance instead of late may be the critical difference needed to make your family feel their importance is not overshadowed. Working on the International Space Station is serious business, even though being in space may seem like the biggest adventure ever. The ISS is essentially a vast laboratory, with all basic facilities only to ensure those living there have their needs met. Even maintaining your daily routine can be vitally important. Those on the ISS need to exercise for 2 hours a day to maintain muscle strength. Otherwise, atrophy will set in, and you might not even be able to stand when back on Earth. Coming home from space may seem like a glorious event, but your life will forever be changed from the experience as an astronaut. The first difficulty you'll face is re-entry to Earth, which is a notoriously bumpy ride. After that, you have to relearn how to handle yourself under the influence of gravity. Many things will be different, and you will need to get used to it. However, taking it step by step and day by day, the transformative experience of going to space will be cherished forever.